Deep in the heart of Virginia's horse country, nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, lies the Central Intelligence Agency's headquarters in Langley. It's a place of hushed voices, clandestine operations, and state secrets. Among its nondescript buildings and high walls, there exists a tranquil courtyard, a place of respite and reflection. And here, in the midst of manicured gardens and babbling fountains, stands a modern art sculpture named Krypto. The sculpture seems unassuming at first glance, a 12-foot-high copper masterpiece with an abstract design of tubes and cylinders. Its polished surface reflects the sky and clouds like a distorted mirror. To the casual observer, it's just an interesting piece of art, perhaps a conversation starter or a photo op. But to those who know its secrets, Kryptos is anything but ordinary. Hidden within its gleaming curves are coded messages, buried deep within the sculpture's design. These cryptic inscriptions have baffled some of the world's best minds for over 3 decades. They've puzzled CIA analysts, elite codebreakers, and amateur cryptographers alike. The question is, why does such a sculpture exist, and what secrets does it hold? Before we delve into the enigma that is Kryptos, let's take a moment to appreciate the creator's ingenious mind. Jim Sanborn is not just a sculptor. He's an artist, a codemaker, a puzzle master, and a provocateur all rolled into one. Born in 1954, Sanborn developed an interest in cryptography as a young boy. He was fascinated by codes, ciphers, and the hidden meanings that lay beneath the surface of things. This passion led him to create Kryptos, a sculpture that would become his magnum opus and a thorn in the side of the CIA. When Sanborn was approached by the CIA in the late 1980s to create a piece of art for their headquarters, he saw it as the perfect opportunity to showcase his unique talents. He proposed creating a sculpture that would double as a cryptic message, a secret embedded in plain sight. The CIA, always intrigued by matters of secrecy and intrigue, loved the idea and gave Sanborn the green light. He got to work designing Kryptos, a sculpture that would push the boundaries of cryptography and art. Sanborn wanted to create something truly enigmatic, something that would challenge even the brightest minds to decipher its secrets. He encoded his message using a combination of classical and modern cipher methods, creating a labyrinth of codes that would be nearly impossible to break. But he also wanted to make the sculpture aesthetically pleasing, a work of art that would stand the test of time. He chose copper as his medium, a durable material that would develop a beautiful patina over the years, turning the sculpture into a living piece of art. When Krypto was unveiled in 1990, it immediately became a sensation. Art critics and the general public alike were intrigued by its mysterious design and cryptic inscriptions, but it wasn't long before the first codebreakers started taking notice. The Washington Post published an article revealing that the sculpture contained a hidden message, and the hunt was on. But where to begin? How do you decode a sculpture? Sanborn had embedded 4 separate encrypted messages into the sculpture, and each message was more challenging than the last. But he also provided a few clues for distinct starting points that would lead solvers to the hidden messages. The first clue was a letter K, pointing to the beginning of the sculpture's inscription. The second clue was a Roman numeral I, indicating the first character of the second message. The third clue was a Greek letter delta, leading to the beginning of the third message. And the fourth clue was a Chinese character representing the first part of the final message. With these clues in hand, the codebreakers were ready to dive in. They started with the letter K, which led them to a passage that read between subtle shading and the deep desire. These words, when properly ordered, revealed the first part of the hidden message. Between subtle shading and the deep desire of the heart, where neither can end one's quest for the infinite. The message was a poetic reference to the human condition, a reflection on the search for beauty and meaning in an imperfect world. But it was only the beginning. The next clue, Roman numeral I, led the codebreakers to another passage that read, flowing like water, the stone does not move. This cryptic phrase was the first part of the second message, a reference to the Taoist concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action. The second message was more complex than the first, requiring the solvers to think outside the box and consider alternative interpretations. But they were undeterred. They continued to study the sculpture, searching for patterns and clues. The third clue, the Greek letter delta, led them to another passage that read above the earth, below the sky. This phrase turned out to be the first part of the third message, referencing an ancient burial chamber in Greece. The third message was a historical reference, a nod to the rich tapestry of human history. But it was nothing compared to what lay ahead. The final clue, the Chinese character, led to the last passage, which read, "If you would find the path, I urge you, tread lightly." These words turned out to be the first part of the fourth message, a cryptic instruction for how to solve the final puzzle. The fourth message was unlike the others. It wasn't a historical reference or a philosophical musing. It was a challenge, a test of the solver's intuition and creativity. With the 4 messages decoded, the CIA was impressed. The codebreakers had done it. They had solved the cryptic puzzle embedded in the sculpture. But there was more to the story. As it turned out, Sanborn had actually encoded 5 messages, not 4. The real challenge, he said, was to find the sculpture's hidden key, a key that would unlock the final message. The key, it turned out, was hidden in plain sight. It was the sculpture's name, Kryptos spelled backwards. When the word was reversed, it formed a new word, which was the anagram for the final message. The 5th message, which read, "The path of most resistance is most likely to lead to freedom," was a cryptic commentary on the nature of conflict and the pursuit of liberty. The final message was a challenge to conventional thinking, a reminder that the most difficult path may often lead to the greatest rewards. And with that, the puzzle was complete. Or was it? As it turns out, not every part of the sculpture has been decoded. There are still fragments of the messages that remain elusive, hiding in plain sight. Sanborn himself has dropped hints and clues over the years, tantalizing the codebreakers with glimpses of the hidden meaning. But the full message remains a mystery. So what is the significance of Krypton? Why did Sanborn create such an elaborate puzzle? Perhaps he simply wanted to create a work of art that would challenge and intrigue people. Or maybe he had a deeper message in mind. In an interview with the Washington Post, Sanborn said, "I hope it makes people think about cryptography and secret codes and the whole idea of hidden messages." He also said that he wanted to create a sculpture that would be a conversation starter, something that would bring people together. Whatever the reason, Krypton has certainly achieved that goal. The sculpture has become a legend in the world of cryptography, a must-see destination for codebreakers and puzzle enthusiasts. Visitors to the CIA headquarters are often drawn to the sculpture, marveling at its beauty and mystery. And who knows, maybe they try their hand at cracking the code themselves. Kryptos is more than just a sculpture. It's a testament to the power of the human mind, our insatiable curiosity, and our endless capacity for innovation. It's a reminder that even in an age of computers and algorithms, nothing beats the ingenuity of the human brain. So if you ever find yourself near the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, be sure to pay a visit to Kryptos. Take a close look at the sculptures, cryptic inscriptions, and try your hand at cracking the code. You never know. You might just be the one to solve the mystery of Kryptos.